Alex, can you believe that musical theater has gone woke? Can you believe that that this beautiful franchise, for the beautiful place for men's entertainment, for big strong Republican men who are not gay, has been wokeified because of what this is happening because of woke, Alex. You don't understand.
Because of woke, you say?
It's because of woke.
Like, are you a rage? It's because of woke. Woke
Thomas
is a
Thomas Jefferson Thomas Jefferson is black because of woke.
Tomer Jefferson.
Tomer Jefferson. Good old Tommy boy.
Tomers.
Tommy Tomarino.
Anyway, it's gone woke. I can't believe it.
I can't
This
believe that
wonderful
Broadway has
Republican
gone woke.
invention we have called musical theater.
Hey, is there a cast member in common between the last two musicals we saw? Was Thomas Jefferson Donkey?
I don't know. Let me. I have to look this up.
I think Thomas Jefferson might have been Donkey.
I know who Tom. I know Thomas Jefferson. It's like Devine or something.
I hope
Uh,
I'm thinking of the right black guy in the play.
no, it is Thomas Jefferson. Um,
No, I know it's Thomas Jefferson, but I'm trying to. Is that the one who I think is Donkey, or am I getting him mixed up with another one? I don't know.
okay, let's see. I think they're two separate people.
Okay, okay.
Yes, they're two separate people. Just that makes you look bad as a white person, you know.
That does make me look bad as a white person. They gave off similar vibes.
Look, that's in my. Should probably pull up my notes. I actually took a couple notes this time.
Wait, did you have the same thought?
Yes, I did. Not that
Okay.
not that he was the same actor, but very very similar vibes. Just like if they took half the gay away from Donkey and gave it to Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, I did notice that he wasn't as gay, so that was my tell that maybe I was wrong. But like, other than that, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Oh boy.
Do we do the part where I say "Welcome to Detour Head"? I'm Riley. Here's Alex, and then you say
What do I say after that?
just hi or something. I thought you would take it.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I did an oopsie.
What oopsie did you do?
I didn't upload the show on time.
Nah, you didn't do that. That's true.
I am a man of many problems. I don't know where I'm going with this bit. I fucked
I'm.
up.
I
The
mean,
episode is late.
I'm.
Or
It's.
last episode is late because of me. I fell into the Bellatra hole and just
I mean, I'll be real with you, dog. If if you're a Spotify listener, the Shrek the Musical episode is a week and a half late because of me.
I
So
did notice because someone was asking me about my podcast and I showed it to him. I did notice you put out 3 whole episodes on March 19th.
I told you about this when it happened, but
I just
yeah.
think it's funny because I kind of anything that doesn't have to do with the YouTube, I kind of just
That was the day where I didn't know it was
ignore.
Wednesday. That was the day where I thought it was Sunday because it was my day off and I wasn't used to my new days off yet. And I put out the episodes I missed, and then the current episode came up, and I was like, maybe you should just put that out on Wednesday instead of now because we're not gonna have an episode anyway. And then I realized it was Wednesday and not Sunday, so then we just put it out that day.
Yeah, but see, I've just been like blind to your actions over on that side of the ocean. Um, I let you run your half, and I focus on mine. I don't check up on when you upload the shows. We're 115 episodes in. I have not once asked you if you uploaded the show at all. At least to my knowledge, I don't think I've asked you.
That's a strange proclamation to make because I can't prove that you're wrong, but I feel like you have to have asked me that question a couple times in these 115 episodes that we've done.
Okay, so maybe I've asked it a couple times. Like, did you upload the episode? And you'd probably either be like, "Yeah, I did," or "No, I didn't." And I usually leave it at that.
I'm getting more and more lazy. Like to be real with you, like I'm not falling out of love with podcasting, but I'm definitely falling out of love with life. So just like I'll show up and I'll do the fun show part, but when it comes to the work part, I'm becoming worse and worse at strapping myself in and getting it done. The issue crew had not come out on time for like 2 months in a row until last week. I got it out on time, and I think that was a one-time thing. I don't think it's coming out on time this weekend either. I'm just real bad.
Look, 2025 is not our year. I've already accepted that it's not Detour Ahead's year. We missed all of January, a lot of February. We're missing weeks because of just things happening. It's fine. I've already accepted that this is not our year.
Well, it doesn't matter if we post the episodes late, but we got to get back to making one a week, and we've been doing good so far.
We're on a 3-week streak, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because last week we said we're on a 2-week streak. Should I get a little board that says how many episodes in a row we've recorded each week?
Is that the new board bit?
It's the new board bit. I'm never gonna get a board, but it's the new hypothetical board bit. Because we don't argue that much anymore.
Now we have 2 things to put on our board. Days since last argument.
Days since last start. How about like podcasts since last argument? Because we could get up to 7 days easily.
True. Yeah. Podcast since last argument, and then
days since last upload.
Yeah. And if it's any more than 7, you know we fucked up.
I'll wake up in the morning and see the 6 and be like, ah, shit. Honestly, I'd probably wake up in the morning a week later and still see 0 or 1 because I'm too lazy to touch the board.
Yeah.
Because if I can't remember to edit the show and get it to you on time, how am I going to remember to change the board every day?
Yeah, my brain is goo this week. They fucking made me work mandatory overtime on one of my days off, and I'm not happy about it. Because I only got yesterday to myself, and I had a bunch of shit to do. And now I'm just back to this is day 1 of the next work week. And I don't like it. I want to die.
It's all right. This was day 5, and I'm done for the weekend.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
I was supposed to have someone come over and hang out yesterday, but they canceled on me. So now I'm just going to sit here and mindlessly watch Balatro videos all day. Man, Balatro is killing way too much of my fucking time.
There's no more television for you to watch. You just gotta fucking watch Balatro streams.
It's just Balatro streams. That's it. Balatro is the reason why I did not get you this show this week.
Jesus Christ.
It's a fun little not gambling game. Like, there are days where I'm like, oh, I could stream today. And then I go and I'm like, all right, let's see what other Balatro streamers are going on right now, just in case. If there's nobody there, I'll stream. And then I find one and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just keep watching and watching.
That's a fool's game. Why would you do that? You know that's happening. Why even do that step?
Because I don't want to stream.
Why?
Because it's a lot of work.
What do you mean it's a lot of work? No, it's not.
It's a lot of work to set up the game, to stream, to uninstall the mods. Because I don't want to play with the mods, because the mods break the game too quickly.
I don't know, man. Just stream.
Just stream.
Just put the content out to the people.
I don't know. I've never been much like I don't know what to do with streaming. I'm not one for streaming.
You just play a game.
Yeah, but what if
You
someone's
do
trying to talk
you
to
do
me? I don't know. I don't want
exactly
to
what
talk
you
to
would
you.
do.
I don't want to talk to
Well,
people.
that's what helps, is that instead of sitting there in silence for 8 minutes because you have nothing to say, somebody in chat will say something and you'll be like, yeah. And it's cool. Alex is texting his Tinder boys, his grinder boys.
Fuck off. I'm trying to fucking set something up for either after the show or tomorrow because I'm bored and I don't want to go because the Balatro streamer that I watch is done streaming, so now I'm gonna be bored.
So now you need a twink boy to come over and to entertain you.
Yeah, basically. Have them come over, be like, "Hey, do you want to watch TV? What do you want to watch?" Just make them make all the fucking choices so I can just sit here and do nothing.
I hack your grinder account and I'm like, let's watch Power Rangers. It's my favorite show.
I'd probably ask them to leave, or I would just be like, you know what? I think I have a better idea. So,
and then you'd make them watch a Balatro stream. That's your better idea.
we're gonna mindlessly sit here. I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm too invested in this silly little gambling game, silly little card game. I get to go watch the pupper again.
You've been watching that pup for a whole lot lately.
Yeah, because mom and dad have too much fucking money and they're going to Florida, this and that and this and that. They're fucking leaving every goddamn weekend. And they're like, "Oh, Alex, do you want to come watch the dog?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess so. I have nothing better to do with my life. No twink boys want to come over and hang out with me for the weekend, so I might as well go hang out with the dog. A dog who actually
who needs a
cares
twink
about me
when you can have a dog?
You never met the dog, but I'm sure you would take one look at him and love him forever. He's amazing.
Oh, almost certainly.
You've seen Cooper, right? The boxer?
I feel like you've shown me a picture of
I've
Cooper
given you
before.
updates on Cooper. If
feel
I
like I've seen a
haven't, I
Cooper
feel
too.
I'm sorry. I'll give you updates this weekend.
I'm gonna have to see some Cooper. It's very important.
I'll send
Man, I
you.
found videos of like Vito and Whitey like right when we brought them home, and they were so fucking tiny, bro. It's so crazy. Like you don't even notice when they grow, and then you look back and it's like, holy shit, that was like that was just like a rat, and now it's like a whole cat.
Yeah, animals grow fast. I'm surprised.
They have little rat tails. Baby kittens, they got little rat tails, and then they grow up and they get their full developed tail, but they got little rat chihuahua tails when they're little kittens.
God, I haven't seen a baby kitten in like a long time.
I'm surrounded by them. They've taken over.
Anyway, do you want to get what was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Not real.
No.
Not much has really happened this week to me, to be honest.
I'm just like, I'm so lethargic, and I feel bad because I do really like this thing we're about to talk about, but I don't know how much power I'm gonna have behind my words about it. I guess we'll see.
Oh, that's something. Instagram Reels.
I'm familiar with Instagram Reels.
My 63-year-old father has discovered Instagram Reels and has been sending them all day to my sisters and me.
Oh no. Oh man.
I'm waiting for him to find TikTok, but TikTok's gonna get banned in a couple days anyway. So
True, true.
yeah, everybody
That's
forgot that the ban was
Amazon's
only
gonna buy
extended
it.
to
It's
August,
okay.
April 5th. We got one more day. Gets banned tomorrow.
Amazon's gonna buy it.
Amazon's not gonna buy TikTok.
Amazon put in a bid for it. That's real.
So did Mr. Beast. Like everybody's trying to buy TikTok.
Yeah, but Amazon has real money.
What do you mean?
Amazon and
Mr.
real
Beast
like
has real money.
power. Yeah, but like he's Mr. Beast though. Yeah, the Amazon has real money and real status.
Yeah, but Amazon is gay and liberal. Fuck them.
True, which is
Fuck Bezos.
precisely why they're gonna sell it to Tim.
I bet Bezos likes watching his wife get fucked by other dudes.
How's Jeff Bezos' wife look? I imagine old.
It doesn't matter.
Crappy.
It's fucking Bezos. If Bezos came up to you and said "fuck my wife," you'd be like, "Yes, sir."
Does Bezos have a trophy wife? What's going on over there in the Bezos
No, they're
household?
fucking divorced. It's funny. she tried.
That's great.
I'm pretty sure she has half his money right now, and it's hilarious.
That's pretty good.
I love when rich people get fucked like that. Welcome to the other side of life, buddy. Have fun paying alimony to your whore wife every week.
Is Bill Gates has been dead for like a long time.
Bill
right?
Gates is not dead. What are you talking about?
What?
Bill Gates is not dead.
Is Bill Gates not dead?
Is Bill Gates dead?
I feel like he's been dead for a long time.
That's Steve Jobs.
Well, yeah. Well, it turns out my whole life is a lie, folks. I thought Bill Gates was dead and gone.
No, Bill Gates is still kicking. He's only 69 right now.
Nice.
Why'd you think Bill Gates was dead?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
I just thought that. I don't know why I thought that.
No, it was the one. Steve Jobs is the one who died, but he deserved to die because he's stupid.
He's a hippie.
He wanted silly Eastern medicine.
Silly.
He wanted.
Didn't was there a similar thing with Jim Henson, or am I slandering the good name of the Muppet Man?
I don't know much about Jim Henson.
I think he might have gone for similar reasons, but don't quote me on that.
I just know he created the Muppets. That's it. That's all I know
He
about the
did
man.
create the Muppets. Oh, I've got a lost media case on my hands. I gotta tell you about this. I forgot about this. Okay. This has to do with Jim Henson. This is why I'm reminded. So for the longest time, I've had this memory of I had a VHS as a kid. I don't remember what it was a VHS for. It might have been a Sesame Street thing. It might have not been. But I remember having a VHS that had a trailer for the movie Elmo in Grouchland, which was a theatrical Sesame Street movie. And it had a trailer for that movie in which the song Brick House played. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that song. It's
Yeah,
like an old classic disco song.
yeah. I'm
And
very aware. It was played in Shark Tale as well.
it's played in Shark Tale. It was also played in Muppets in Space. So for the longest time, I could never find this trailer. So for the longest time, like I must just be thinking of Muppets in Space. This must just be a false memory that I have. But then recently, I was like, I wonder if AI has anything to say about this. So I asked Grok about the Elmo and Grouchland trailer with the song "Brick House" in it. And it did not find that trailer, but what it did inform me of, which I went to IMDb and confirmed, is that the song "Brick House" was meant to be in the movie Elmo and Grouchland, but was cut from the final movie. So the fact that that connection exists really makes me think that my memory is correct, actually, and I had a VHS with a trailer that might have had that scene in it before it was cut.
Hmm.
So I think I got a lost media case on my hands, Alex. I think I I think I have this memory of this Elmo and Grouchland trailer that nobody saved, that is real and out there, and only I know about it. And hopefully someday it's found. Hopefully this piece of history can be unearthed someday. I should talk to the Lost Media Wiki about this. What are you doing over there?
I'm just seeing if I could find it. I'm sure you already looked up.
No, you're gonna watch every trailer that's on YouTube for Elmo and Grouchland, and I guarantee you that none of them have it because I've done a similar
I'm
thing.
sure you've spent all week doing that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I have any cases of lost media, to be honest.
Not many people do, but sometimes you're like, man, I really remember this one thing,
Yeah,
and
but
it turns
usually
out
I
you
just
weren't
write it
wrong.
off as, oh, I'm probably fucking retarded. It's fine.
Which is what I did for a long time. I was like, okay, it's in Muppets in Space. I'm getting my Muppets mixed up. I have Muppet racism. I'm probably just thinking of Muppets in Space.
Do you
But then
think
I find out this connection exists, and I'm like, oh my god.
do you think there's racism in the Muppet world?
Oh, I mean, yeah, isn't that like Gonzo's whole thing?
Do you think like the Muppets look at Elmo and they're like, "What are you doing here, you
No,
red
it's
fuck"?
Gonzo they do that for.
I don't know which one Gonzo is.
Yeah, the guy with the big nose, he's an alien. He's a fucking illegal immigrant, that Gonzo.
We need to see Gonzo's papers.
Yeah, Gonzo, I don't think immigrated here fucking legally. Gonzo, I can't seem to find your immigration papers.
Jim Henson helped him cross the border. All right, you wanna jump into our thing this week?
Sure, sure.
What are we talking about this week?
We're talking about every white girl's 2016 experience, Hamilton.
God, I fucking love this one. This this is probably in my top 10. I loved
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty good.
Amazing.
It was
It's
amazing.
amazing.
I would describe it as amazing. I don't know. I feel like I can't. I'm not. I feel like I'm not going to give it a perfect score as you might. But I think it was very good.
So, to put this in perspective, Riely finished watching it right before the show. Yes, I'm throwing you under the bus here, but
I did finish watching it right
it will
before the
help my
show.
point. I also finished watching it right before the show. However, unbeknownst to Riely, when I told him this, I had watched it last night and listened to the soundtrack, which is basically like listening to the whole musical. So I pretty much consumed it 3 times before the show.
Yes, and you framed it not that way on purpose so that I would admit that I hadn't finished it yet because I thought that you hadn't finished it yet, but in reality you had, and I was made to be a fool.
You are a fool, but you finished it though.
I did.
Anything specific that you wanted to talk about this fantastic
Man, I feel like
movie
you've
about?
got more passion than me. We can take you can take us down the path.
I want to hear what you. I feel like everybody knows that I love this already. So like I'd just be singing praises, but I think people want to hear your opinion because you're iffy about it.
I mean, I'm not iffy about it. It's just like it's not like it's an amazing production. Like I can't even really name you any flaws.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm not that into it.
Well,
Like
I'm
it's
sure
just like
there's
not.
like story flaws, character flaws, stuff that happen where you're just like, I don't know about that one.
I mean, the kind of the weird love rectangle between Hamilton and Eliza, and Eliza's sister, whose name I've already forgotten, and the whore whose name I've already forgotten.
She's a whore. Like, she's a married woman, except her husband calls her a whore, so it's okay. Because back then, men
Yeah,
owned
I'm not.
women.
I'm using what the play called her
I'm
because I don't
using
remember
what
what name
her
they gave her.
husband.
So
Well, you got to remember, it's the late 1700s, early 1800s. Women back then were property, so whatever title their
true.
husband gives them is their title. It's not like today where
Exactly.
you can't you can't you can't make this today. Like, you can't go around calling women
You couldn't make
whores.
Hamilton today.
Even though
Very
you did, but
controversial.
yeah, the weird, like I understand the part where, like, obviously he's married to Eliza, and then the whore wife seduces him and shit like that. I'm like, he's a man. It's not acceptable, but it's like, you fucked up. You did the one thing that these women are gonna kill you for is cheating
But
on
he
your
was
wife.
the weird thing is he was having an emotional affair with her sister the whole
See,
time.
that was weird. I
And then her
like
sister shows up and talks shit at him for cheating on her sister. Where it's like, you got it. This has been an emotional affair the entire time. You guys have been writing little love letters. You sang a whole song about he put a comma before dearest. So what does
my
that mean?
dearest
Or put a
Angelica.
comma after dearest and before my name, and that means I'm his dearest, I guess.
I bet you that was just like the pen dripped, the little feather pen
Yeah,
dripped, and he's just like, he's looking at it and he's like, shit. Well, I'm not gonna start over.
yeah.
It's like, fuck it. Just I don't care. I have 51 Federalist Papers to write right now, Angelica. I can't be
Also,
bothered with
is
a fucking
Alexander
comma.
Hamilton responsible for all this?
All what?
All this? Like all this? Because I'm pretty sure the plot of I'm going to say second act of the play, if I know how to identify an act structure, which I don't think I do, um, is that Alexander Hamilton is trying to establish the Fed. Did Alexander Hamilton do this to us, Alex?
Did he?
Is this Alexander Hamilton's fault? When
He
I
did
finally
not.
about
He included While Alexander Hamilton's vision and work laid the groundwork for a national financial system, including the first Bank of the United States in 1791, the Federal Reserve System, as we know it today, was established much later in 1913. So it's kind of his fault.
he started it. I think that when we finally dismantle the Fed, the final boss is going to be the ghost of Alexander Hamilton that we have to defeat using our proton packs.
No, it's gonna be musical theater.
Yeah, we have to have a rap battle with Alexander Hamilton.
Either that or a 10 pace duel with the ghost of Alexander Hamilton.
No, because then you just shoot into the air and then get shot.
Maybe he'll learn his mistake from the last one.
Son, remember, if you're having a duel, just don't have the duel, and the other guy probably won't have it
Well,
either.
okay, so I knew. Look, that caught me off guard, and I teared up a little bit. I was like, I was not expecting them to kill his son,
You know
let
that did
alone in
like
a
that
piss
gutted me, but
duel.
that was the most emotional part of the play for me. But like the fact that like the whole thing is like, son, if you just give up, he'll give up too.
Okay, it's wishful
Um,
thinking, but it's also him trying to protect his son from having to live with killing a man for the rest of his adult life. He's
well, it's
19 at
better
this.
than the rest of his adult life being 5 seconds long.
It was trying to be honorable.
And then he takes his own advice when he's seen it didn't work.
That's because Aaron Burr is a massive fuck. He's a piece of shit. That's the whole point.
Aaron Burr, here's the thing about Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr, I don't know how to feel about Aaron Burr. They took me in a lot of different directions about Aaron Burr
What do you mean they took
because
you in a
like
bunch of directions? They painted him as the villain from day one.
yeah, but Hamilton wanted to fucking establish the Fed and not help the French who helped them. And it was Burr and Jefferson who were like, we should stand with the people as they stood with us and fuck your stupid bank. That's awesome. But
Yes, but he
then
makes a very, very good point. And this is like this is all based off of like Eliza's work of like gathering as much information about Alexander Hamilton as she could, right? Like after he died, she's like, I should probably like someone needs to know this, so I'm just gonna go and talk to every single human being in the continental United States. Um, but like the whole thing is his argument for helping France is if we help every single revolution, where does it end? Riely, it's 2025 and it still hasn't ended yet.
okay, but
We're
the
still
I don't think
helping every single little
I don't
motherfucker all
think that
around the
really
world.
applies in this case though, because the point is they're talking about the French, who are the only reason they exist. The French, the French came and helped them in their little revolution, and that's the only reason why America is a place. So the fact that Hamilton, who fought in that same war, beside those same Frenchmen, are like, where's the line? Maybe the line is someone who didn't fight and die for you specifically.
There's no obligation to help, though. If I help you, you have no obligation to help me whatsoever.
Isn't that but they signed a treaty though, Alex? Wasn't that the terms?
You know, I mean, that treaty was all the way across the ocean. How's France? What is France gonna do? Send a delegate to the United States all across the Atlantic Ocean to be like, you, you, right there. You signed a treaty. You're supposed to help us with this war. They're not gonna send anybody to enforce that. France is just gonna be like, ah, well, shit.
Well, you should.
They
The fact
fucked
that it
us.
needs to be enforced means you, the United States, are the assholes because
Yes,
you made an agreement and you're not holding it up,
we've always been the assholes.
and that's bad. And
Yes,
we
I am
shouldn't
aware
do
that's
that.
bad. I'm aware that's bad.
Yeah, so Hamilton's the villain. Hamilton's the bad guy of Hamilton.
Hamilton's not the bad guy. He was just trying to make his way in the world.
Yeah, he's just trying to make his way in the world, and then he fucked a whore. He created the Federal Reserve.
He did not create
He
the Federal Reserve.
he fucked a whore. He created the Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve
Emo-
wasn't made until
he
1913.
he created the groundwork that would eventually lead to the Federal Reserve. Uh,
I don't think
he fucked.
I really feel like that's me doing, hey, there's this cool thing called podcasts. Let's do a podcast. And then, like, 200 years later, someone's looking back at our podcast and they're like, you made it so anime is illegal because you talked about it on your show. You fuck, it's your fault. The two are not, like, that's a bad example, but, like, he set the groundwork for the first national bank of the United States, but that's it. Not the Federal Reserve. That's different. That's a whole other fucking piece of shit that should be abolished.
I was like I don't know. I think Hamilton's kind of the bad guy, and then he uses the death of his son to emotionally manipulate his estranged wife into getting back with him, which is
I don't
a
think they were
choice.
together. I think they were just like, well, our son's gone. Your life is ruined. I I I guess you can come back.
But
It's
she's telling
fine.
him to like come to bed in their last song together. Like,
Maybe they got back together. I
yeah.
don't think it was emotional manipulation though.
Mm, I don't know.
Besides, it's 1800s. You can do whatever you want to women back then.
Yeah, yeah, you see, that's the problem. Hamilton's a bad guy. He's in a society of bad guys, but he's amongst the bad guys.
Yeah, but Black Jefferson had black slaves in Hamilton the musical, so
Yeah, it is a choice to make Thomas Jefferson black when he's the slave owner, but you know.
I mean everybody was
Somehow
black
Jefferson was
except
like
for
the
like
hero of this play. Like, I was never upset with Jefferson the whole time. Like, he was a straight shooter. He was
he
having the
spoke
time
his
of his
mind.
life, and he spoke his mind. And he wasn't out cheating on his beautiful, faithful wife with
Why
some
are you so
Mexican whore.
why are you so fixated on the whore? Whatever her name
Because
was. Why are you so
it's
fixated on that?
Hamilton's biggest fault there is fucking cheating on his beautiful wife with this hoe.
His biggest fault was completely having a mental breakdown and panicking, trying to save his quote unquote legacy, and writing everything down and publishing it to the public. Had he kept his mouth shut, there would be no problems. His son would be alive. But because he panicked and published the pamphlet, the Reynolds pamphlet, he ruined it. He got his son killed because of
But you
it.
literally didn't have to, like, do you think Jefferson or Burr would have blabbed?
Burr probably. Jefferson doesn't give a shit about Hamilton.
Or I guess Adams was also there. Is Adams the like soft spoken black guy? Or
That
is
was
that a
James
different
Madison.
character?
We don't
James
see
Madison.
Adams. We don't
Yeah,
see
okay.
Adams as far as I'm concerned. Speaking of Adams, what'd you think of King George?
I loved King George.
I think he's fantastic. Fantastic.
I already knew that tune because of a certain parody that I'm sure you've also heard.
What?
The you don't know you know the Dragon Ball Z abridged parody of the King George song from Hamilton. You've never heard that?
No.
There's a Frieza sings a parody of the King George song about murdering all of Namek. It's great. It's a great song.
What is it? I'll be back, the first one?
Yeah,
Or
that
you'll
one.
be back?
Yeah, it's the da 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 da
That's in
da
all three of his
da da da.
songs.
Well, yeah, it's the initial one, probably. They're all like the same tune. It's just different words.
For the most part.
So yeah, if Frieza sings it, it's great. It's a good song, but it's also good when King George sings it.
Um yeah.
Saiyans tried, now they're fried.
So if I had more time, I realized something really cool, and like if I had more time, I would have done something about this, but I didn't have enough time to do it. Uh, Alexander Hamilton and Kolochu and Pegasus sound exactly alike, and I could have done a Detour Ahead song about that.
Oh, that would have been so good.
Because it has the same syllables, so we could have done a whole song about it if I had like another week or two to do it. I realized that while driving around in the car today, and I'm like, oh shit, that would have been cool. That would have added to production value. But I'm like, oh well, then I gotta like record it and everything. It's a lot of work, but
And there's a parody of that song we definitely both know.
Maddox Sandick Masterson.
Maddox and Dick Masterson.
Look, ever since I heard that and found out it was from Hamilton, I've wanted to watch Hamilton. Then Dick Masterson goes on his podcast and talks shit about Hamilton. Reason number 2 why I really wanted to watch Hamilton. Reason number 3, Epic the musical artist Brandon McGinnis, I believe, did a cover of Burn, the Eliza's song where she's like burning letters and stuff like that. And that was reason number 3, and we finally hit it, and I'm excited. I was so glad that we got to watch it this week.
Cool.
This is like the first like I like Shrek was good, but I would not rewatch
by the way,
Shrek.
Shrek the musical like became relevant again for a second right after we did the episode, which is kind of funny. I don't know if you heard about this. I don't know if this is really that popular, but I just happened upon it and I thought it was funny. There was some sort of like album that came out where like famous celebrities were doing like covers of Broadway songs. And Rachel Zegler did a cover of Shrek's song about wanting to be a hero from Shrek the Musical.
Fuck Rachel Zegler.
Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those fucking the quartering type fucking white bread motherfuckers who's like, oh, Rachel Zegler. Oh,
She
this beautiful 10 out of 10 woman's ugly.
what? No. I wouldn't say
She could never
that.
be Snow White.
I think that they fucked the Snow White movie up so much to the point where it lost its original meaning.
Yeah, but I don't think Rachel Zegler has anything to do with that at all. I think Rachel Zegler was fine casting. I think you should have casted real midgets. I think you should have had some heart in what you were writing. And I think you shouldn't have hired Gal Gadot. Those are the things that I think.
Yeah, you should not have hired real super popular supermodel Gal Gadot as the evil witch. That was bad casting. Also,
Also terrible Zionist Palestinian children killing Gal Gadot. Like
okay, we're gonna pivot here. Just one thing I
allegedly.
want to say. Because of everybody hating on Snow White, the internet has come together and dethroned the lowest rated movie, Dragon Ball Evolution.
So Snow White finally
Yeah.
dethroned Dragon Ball Evolution.
Dragon Ball Evolution was sitting at a low 2.5 or 2.6 on IMDb. Snow White dropped to 2.3 or 2.4 and
What I
dethroned
like
Dragon
about
Ball after almost 20 years.
what I like about it is that the left and the right both hate the movie Snow White, but they've still found a way to fight about it. Because people on the right or just like general reviewers will refer to the movie as Rachel Zegler's Snow White. And all the leftists have like come together and decided they're only going to refer to it exclusively as Gal Gadot's Snow White when they're talking shit about it. So,
That's it. The Snow White movie has brought America back together to hate on one single thing together.
but they found a way to hate on it differently so they can still be enemies.
Of course, that's the American way. Is if you don't have any enemies, create them yourself.
True, so true.
Were there
Just
any
like Donald
other
Trump is doing with every other country. Oh, by the way, you voted for this. Get ready to spend fucking $700 on the Switch too.
All right, when the Wii came out, it was $260 something. All right, listen.
I don't care how much the Switch 2 is gonna cost in fucking 5 years. I care how much it's gonna cost right now.
Listen to me and let me explain this to you. It's all about inflation.
It's no, Alex.
Hold
The
on, hold
current
on.
prices that no. You listen to me, because you're about to make an argument that's pointless. The prices that got revealed, that's inflation. Yes, I was fully okay with those prices. I understood those prices. I had no issue with those prices. I don't know if you've heard, Alex, but Nintendo has indefinitely delayed the pre-ordering of the Switch 2 in order to evaluate the effects that the tariffs will have on the American economy, which means we are definitely getting a price raise from the price we just found out 2 days ago. So get ready to spend $700 on your Switch 2 and another $100 for each game because of Trump.
Okay, that's a thing. Let's put let's put the tariffs bullshit aside. Do you
It's not
think
bullshit.
let's put that aside. Do
Okay.
you think $450 for the Switch 2 is expensive?
Oh no. I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Okay.
I think $80 games is a bit far, but I'm willing to spend
Well,
that.
I think that's just due to inflation. I really think Nintendo has been living in the world in the year 2010 for like the past 10
Not
years.
really. $60 is the standard retail price for games. Just recently it started going up to 70. Nintendo is the first to raise it up this high.
Probably cuz they bleed money every quarter. If not
No, they
a lot,
fucking
but
don't. The Switch is the most successful thing to ever happen. Like they are not bleeding money at all.
I saw on TikTok someone went and replaced all of the media for Switch 2 for like that entire announcement and changed it to their own thing for the Wii U 2.
That's really funny.
It was all official, but everything about the Switch 2 was changed to the Wii U 2. And it looked very official. And I was like, I didn't fall for it because I know about the Switch 2, but someone who doesn't would see the Wii U 2 and be like, what the and they'd get so pissed. It's really
Yeah,
funny.
oh, it wouldn't be the Wii U too. It would just be the Wii something. You'd have to think of a new Wii blank for it to be. It's the Wii X.
The Wii W.
We got the Wii W. Yes, the Wii W coming to stores soon. But man, that Donkey Kong game looks beautiful and like stellar. Like that game looks crazy good.
I'll be honest, that wasn't even on my radar. Kirby Air Ride is coming back.
Kirby Air Ride's coming back, and that's cool. But like that
Mario
does
Kart has the Moo Moo, the
the Moo
cow,
Cow. That
the
is pretty
Moo Moo
good.
cow, the penguin, the snowman. Look, they're pulling all the stops out for Mario Kart World. I'm
Mario
so
Kart World
excited.
Mario Kart World looks really interesting. I'm excited about a lot. But like seriously, give Donkey Kong a second look, because like that game looks like it's gonna be one of the best 3D platformers that Nintendo has put out in a very long time. Like my hopes are extremely high, because like what we've seen of that game so far, both in the direct and in I've seen clips from they were playing it on Nintendo Treehouse. And that game looks so fucking good. And the new Donkey Kong design is like beautiful and like insanely expressive and very good. It's gonna be a very good game.
We're getting Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube.
Oh my fucking god. Finally, I'll get to play Pokemon XD. Coliseum I could emulate. XD just like would not work for some reason.
Might have to upgrade.
I mean, you're gonna have to upgrade. Whatever Pokemon game comes out after ZA is only gonna be on the Switch too. We know
No, I meant
that.
upgrade the membership.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh yeah, you still don't have the fucking premium
because
pack
there's
because
no
you
games
refuse
that
to
I want to fucking play. There's nothing like
just get on
interesting.
Gingy's family plan.
I'm
Just
already
have
on
it for
Penguin's
free.
family plan for no
Yeah,
reason
but
now.
that's for default for the Pokemon Sword and Shield that I'll get to eventually.
No, you won't.
What do you mean? No, I won't.
You realize it's almost a month, right?
Yeah, I'll get there.
Almost a month of us waiting on you.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Penguin's about to go back on days. She switches every month,
Okay.
which means I'm going to bother you again about it.
Okay.
All right, can we go back to Hamilton? Because there's still a few things that we got to talk about.
Sure, I just wanted to talk real quick about how you voted for this, how you ruined gaming forever,
Yeah.
and how you're gonna have to spend $600 on your Switch 2 because of Donald Trump.
You're just mad that you're not going to be able to afford it.
I mean, that does suck, but like, it's just it's such a fucking. We talked about this on the death stream last night, but it's like it's so shitty for like specifically the people,
You realize that's
like like
still
like, like
reasonable,
down
right?
down down to the bottom line consumer.
You realize that $600 for the Switch 2 is still reasonable, technically.
Eh,
Comparatively to the
I'd pay it.
PS5, the PS5 was 600, was like 550 3 4 5 years ago, or however long it was. And that's not even accounting for inflation nowadays. 600 is easily like completely reasonable. They're still lowballing people
Okay,
with the 450.
okay. Just seethe and cope over there.
How
Fucking.
Google, how much
Oh, it's still worth it, yo. It doesn't really matter that Donald Trump made it fucking $1 million because it's
how
worth
much
it.
did the PS5 cost at launch? Back in 2020, 5 years ago, was $500. So $600 5 years later, after Bidenomics, that sounds reasonable.
But
Biden
it's
fucked the
only that way
economy up.
because of Trump, and we know exactly that that's the case because they did a whole direct 2 days ago where they said it's 450, and now it's not gonna be that way because
Okay,
the
well, what
tariffs.
if Trump likes Pokemon or really likes fucking Donkey Kong, and he's like, shit, no tariffs on Japan.
That Donkey Kong Bonanza game does look really good, very good game it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scale back the tariffs. And apparently it's not even about Japan because they don't manufacture in Japan either. And they went from, I'm trying to remember what country it was. Was it Taiwan? Maybe it was Taiwan. Not Taiwan. No, it was Vietnam. So they were manufacturing China, and then the tariff shit came out, and they were like, "Oh shit, we know that China is gonna get like the biggest tariffs, so we're gonna move production to Vietnam." And then Vietnam had worse tariffs than China.
Okay, the tariffs are
So,
also there because we're losing money on shit, on trades and stuff like that. You realize that, right? The tariffs are there so that we can start taxing other countries on shit rather than taxing our own people.
yes, but they're not going to yield to Trump's giant fucking cock. They're just gonna charge us more. They're not gonna magically come move all their manufacturing to the United States. They're just gonna charge the consumer more.
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to get political here. I want to talk about black people talking about politics.
Well, we had to talk about politics to prove how smart we are, and then we could talk about
Now,
how the
that's for
black
your
people talk
Thursday
about
stream. That's
politics.
not for Detour Ahead this week. We're talking about old people we're talking about original politics.
Listen, I'm gonna you fell off too hard from your politics arc. Okay, I'm said you're becoming an EU politics guy. Vote it up, the issue crew. vote up, vote up EU politics
I
guys or
just want to
whatever I
talk
called
about
it.
the great musical that we watched this week.
We'll get there. We got all the time in the world, Alex.
Not according to some of my texts.
Who's bothering you?
It's not bothering. It's the opposite of
Okay,
bothering.
it's Twink Boy rendezvous request.
Sure, let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's a maybe. Anyway, were there any other songs that you liked in the musical?
I mean, like, I don't know if I mean, like, there were a lot of like Eminem sounding songs.
Well, it's
Like
all
that was
black
that was
people.
that was my initial like thing is like, oh, this is Eminem in the musical. This is Green Mile.
Green 8 Mile.
8 Mile, not Green Mile. What the
Green
fuck?
Mile's the
Eight
fucking
Mile.
football movie, isn't it?
No, I think isn't Green Mile the movie about the guy who goes on death row because he was with a murdered boy, but he actually was trying to heal the murdered boy with his magical healing powers, and then he gets
Oh, that's
executed.
the Tom Hanks
Yeah.
movie. Fuck Tom Hanks. We don't like him here. Tom
I don't
Hanks
know.
is a
Green Mile's a
pedophile.
pretty good movie. I don't know what Tom Hanks is doing on Epstein's Island, but like Green Mile is a pretty good film. Toy Story, come on.
Toy Story is like the only thing that redeems him.
What about like Forrest Gump?
Eh.
What else has Tom Hanks been in?
I think Castaway was good. Cast
Yeah. That was the one that was on the
Castaway
tip of
was.
my tongue.
I feel like anybody could have done it, but because Tom Hanks did it, it was good. Like I feel like anybody could have done Castaway, and it would have been like as much of a hit as it is today. But like it's Tom Hanks, so you're like, okay, that's his movie. That's what he did.
Tim Allen, Castaway.
So there weren't like any songs that stood out to you besides the King George songs.
I'm trying to think. I would need like a song list because I don't know how to like refer to them.
Thomas Jefferson. Just jumping ahead real quick. Thomas Jefferson was my favorite character. I would say it's
Yeah,
King George, but I feel like King George is inputted there specifically to be your favorite character, so I tried to stay away from him. I tried to pick somebody else, and I think Thomas Jefferson really hit it out of the park. I love his theatrics.
yeah. Thomas Jefferson, very well performed. Um, hmm. I'm trying to think of which ones of these ones stand out because like they're all good, but like which ones really like got me.
Right at the beginning, not throwing away, or the song "My Shot," where they're like, "Not throwing away my shot." That was really good. That's catchy.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That I think that's kind of like the showstopper, as it were. Like that's kind of the song people think of, from what I've gathered.
I mean, the song that everybody thinks of is the
Is
beginning
Alexander
song.
Hamilton, but like these are like the two Hamilton songs that like I've seen by osmosis the most, besides the King one, because I heard Freeze's parody of it.
The room where it happened, where
The
Thomas
room where it happened,
Jefferson. That
that
yeah.
was good.
Did you have a single song that stood out that's like your favorite?
Well, we usually this is wrap up. We're going deep into the wrap up question territory now.
It's kind.
Um,
I'm just looking for things to talk about because you don't really have much because you didn't like the musical.
I mean, you could just like go beat by beat. I have thoughts about everything. I just like don't know where to start because I'm not as passionate about it than you.
Um. So I'm gonna put it this way. This is gonna make me sound really fucking stupid. I had to
Okay.
rewatch this because I watched it last night and I'm like, I'm not 100% clear on what the story is. I know it's about Alexander Ham. I know it's about his life, but I'm like, okay, so some points were a little hard to follow for me, mainly because I was probably on my phone. So when I got home today, I rewatched it and was not on my phone. And I'm like, okay, now I
Alex watched
fully
the
under.
thing and wasn't on his phone. I thought that was literally physically impossible, Alex.
No, I,
That's how it was sold to me when I was trying to tell you to put your fucking phone down when we were watching movies.
look, I was playing fucking Balatro last night while I was watching it, and I might have missed a couple things.
You literally were like, you sold it to me as if you are physically incapable of watching a thing without being on your phone.
I'm not saying I didn't touch my phone for the 2.5 hours today. Right before the show, I was texting people to see if they wanted to do something after the show. There was a possibility.
You gotta
There
wait
was
until
a
after the show to make show after the show plans.
No, no, I don't. I can make plans whenever I want. Just tell him 8:30 ish, 9 o'clock. We start at 7. No way we're gonna hit 9. No way we're gonna go over 2.5 hours.
We might fucking. There's so much to hear on Hamilton. You know,
Then we get an in studio guest. I don't care.
true, true.
We've had in studio guests before. But
Debbie Gloom had an in studio guest on this past trans fat experience, and like we made it a whole point to like not have them on camera. Like I think Debbie Gloom propped her camera slightly to make sure this person was not viewable. It was like, okay, if you have to leave the room, you have to tell us so that Debbie Gloom can turn the camera off. And then it doesn't come up for almost the whole show, and then like 10 minutes before we wrap, the person just gets up. So they're in the episode.
you're not gonna cut it out.
It's on Demi Gloom's channel. It's up to her.
Fair enough. Um, Eliza's song at the end was very, or not close to the end, was very, very good.
Yeah, that the Eliza song was good. I feel like Philip's song, like it's between the Philip's song, which was I just had the name and then I forgot what the name was. Um, it was "Blow Us All Away," I believe.
Yes. What
Yeah,
it?
"Blow Us All
Okay.
Away."
What'd
"Blow Us
you?
All Away" and "What Did I Miss?" I feel like are like tied for my favorite. It's hard to choose between those two. "Blow Us All Away," "What Did I Miss?" and what's the King song? "You'll Be Back." Yeah, "You'll Be Back."
Yeah. What did you think of his little rap song that he did with Eliza at the beginning when they introduced him at 9 years old?
Oh yeah,
Where he's like 6 foot tall at 9 years old.
that was so weird.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was like a nice reprieve from everything that's been going on. And Hamilton's all proud of his Alexander's all proud of his son. And then like 20 minutes later his son just gets brutally murdered in the streets cuz his dad told him how to do a duel and they both suffered the consequences.
Man, can we talk about how we had it right and how Thomas Jefferson ruined everything? I think it's a great system that second place has to be the vice president. I think that's great.
I think that's really funny because we would have a Trump Biden presidency and I think that would be we'd have two of those actually.
True.
I think that's really funny and like that's literally the whole point that Thomas Jefferson made against Burr. He's literally like it makes sense. Like what Thomas Jefferson did, it makes sense though. He's like, you ran against me and you literally ran against me for months. Why would I want you to be my right hand man? When I have James Madison over here, like literally just agreeing when I have my little yes man Madison over here.
Yeah, Aaron Burr. It is funny that the Aaron Burr, he endeared me to him and his cause, and then he went full corpo.
What
And he
cause
was
did Aaron Burr have?
well, I mean, he was just standing with the cause. I don't think he was really the. I think it was more fucking like Jefferson's cause than anything.
Aaron Burr's
Um,
whole character is don't tell people what you're for at all.
but
That's
he
his
was
whole
fighting
character
Hamilton about the fucking Fed thing. Him
behind
and
closed
Jefferson
doors,
and
though.
Madison.
His whole thing is speak less, smile more.
Yeah, whatever. Behind closed doors. I'm not talking about what's behind closed doors and what's not behind closed doors. I'm talking about Aaron Burr in general. And Aaron Burr in general endeared me to him with that, with taking a stand against Hamilton, who is making the wrong call. And Then he goes full corpo and he's like, I'm gonna be a modern 2010s politician in the second ever or the third ever presidential election.
I thought that was really funny, where he's just like, you know what? It's the third election ever. I'm gonna become the most moderate person around. I'm gonna appease
They
to
made the I
every
want to have
single
a beer with
person.
him. They made the I want to have a beer with him joke.
Literally pulled a Kamala Harris.
What the fuck? What president was that? Where did that meme come from? Who was the president you wanted to have a beer with? Was it Kennedy?
Probably everybody loved Kennedy.
It was probably Kennedy.
I
But
want to go golfing with Trump. If I ever, like, I'll never have the opportunity to do so in my lifetime. But if, like, a Secret Service dude walks through that door behind me and says, "We're going golfing with Trump," I'd quit the show to go do it immediately.
what would you do on golfing with Donald Trump?
Just spend the day with Donald Trump golfing. I don't know.
And do what? Like what is the significance of golfing with Donald Trump? Like, are
Because
you
he
gonna
likes
talk to
golfing, I
him?
like golfing. I could take pictures and, like, I don't know. It's like what famous person would you want to have dinner with? What the fuck are you gonna do with them at dinner? It's just something you want to do.
Well, it's you would want to have a conversation. And it's like, what conversation would you have with Donald Trump? He's such like deep state multi-billionaire lizard person. Like, what would you even fucking talk about?
I don't know. I'd figure it out on the spot. We've done plenty
Yeah.
of Detour Ahead episodes where I figure it out on the spot.
I don't know. I feel like I would need a plan to talk to the president of the United States.
I don't need a plan. I'll ask him where the lobby is. You don't get
You
that
just have to
joke.
like try to you just have to try to pretend not to be nervous, but be super nervous. Like every time I've talked to like internet celebrities I like. I admitted to being nervous on the Dick Show, which I've been told was my fatal flaw.
It was your flaw, unfortunately. You gotta lose some weight so you can go back on.
True.
If you go
True.
back on, I'll start listening again. How about that?
I know that's not true.
I will. If you show up on an
You've
episode
abandoned us in our time of need, the dickheads community.
in your time of need, what you need is Sean. You don't need Polo Chew, Alex.
Well, we can't have Sean, so
I'm not the next best thing. You guys have Johnny on the spot. Who's the next best thing?
Johnny's been doing pretty good. I'm actually a few episodes behind myself, but I'm gonna be catching up. I listened out of order because Nick Recato was on both shows this week, so I listened to those episodes. But there's a few episodes before that I hadn't caught yet.
Do you feel bad for Angelica?
Mm,
Like,
what
what are
is
your
there really to
feelings?
feel bad for?
She
Like she,
regrets judging him so quickly and then, like, shoving him off onto Eliza, and then immediately, like, at the wedding, she's like, shit. You don't feel bad for her at all?
no, because then she just has an emotional affair with him the whole time, and they write each other fucking silly love letters, and it's like fucked. It's fucked on her part to be doing that, and then to show up and be so shitty towards fucking Hamilton when Hamilton actually cheats, even though they've basically been cheating together the whole time. It's just
I
like
think she's
fuck.
justified in her actions on that one, though.
If
You
I
know,
was Hamilton, I'd be like, bitch, I was already cheating on her with you. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Why are you coming at me on this? Are you upset that I cheated on you with this person who I
yeah,
cheated
that's
on your sister
probably why
with?
she's pissed.
Yeah.
She's like, there was a third woman? No, 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 no. This is the 1800s. You're only allowed to own two women.
Yeah.
I like how they kind of
Also,
just fucked the
also
third
Hamilton has a
Skylar
dog.
sister, by the way.
Hamilton, yeah. What happened to her?
She's not important to the story. Nobody gave a shit about whatever her name was. It's
But
Angelica,
also
Eliza, and then the third one.
you know who else was important to the story? Hamilton's second son and his daughter, which they say he has one time and never comes up again.
Yeah, they say it a couple times,
You'd
but
think the other kids would come up in any way during this whole like big grieving process where they're going through the unimaginable. You'd think their other two kids would be there for them at that time.
yeah. No, he only had one kid. Two kids total.
No, they mention a third kid. I think he literally gets mentioned one time.
No. In the little 9-year old Philip's little rap song with his mom at the piano, he
He said he
says,
wanted a little brother, and then later in the play, I think they mentioned that he now has a little brother.
I don't think so. I don't think how many kids Google, how many kids did Alexander Hamilton have? Because I'm pretty sure you're stupid right now. Oh, oh, okay, cool. The real Alexander and Eliza were married for 24 years and had 8 children. So I'm sure that's true.
Yeah, no, well, that's weird then, because they only mentioned the three. I'm pretty sure they mention they obviously we see Philip. They mention a daughter, and they mention that he has a sister. And I think later in the play they mention his two sons and his daughter in a passing line. Regardless, it's weird that he has
Oh,
like
that's real
children
weird.
who are referenced
Why?
that don't come up.
How many kids did Hamilton have in order? They had 8 children. Philip, Angelica,
Okay.
Alexander, James,
I mean that makes sense.
John
James.
William, Eliza, and then this is the weird part. Another Philip at the end.
Maybe they did try to replace what they lost. It's like this is Philip 2. We made the sequel to Philip. Philip 1 didn't work out so well.
Also, I've learned that a lot of the TikTok videos that I see are from Hamilton. Like, look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for.
Oh, is that a TikTok meme?
Yeah, it's dogs doing stupid shit. Like, my favorite one is a dog stuck in the net, and it's literally, look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. And it cuts off there, and it's supposed to be like making fun of him. I didn't realize that it was like a whole song.
I will say, like, Hamilton's relationship with his son might be like the most redeeming thing about him the whole play. Like his like such genuine devotion to his son was like very charming, and it was actually like gutting to see him like crying over his dead body. Like that actually worked on me. As much as I was like pissed at Hamilton for the goings on and the political aspects of the play, watching him cry over his dead son who he's been like beaming with pride over since he was born is pretty rough.
So, of all the musicals we've watched, this is the first one where it's 95% songs. Like
That's true.
what did you think of that? Was that like jarring for you at all? Where it's literally just all music?
Wasn't Aren't they literally singing every second in Les Mis, or am I retarded?
Les Mis, I think Les Mis is very similar. By the way, canonically, or not canonically, chronologically, Les Mis happens like 10 years after this, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Let me look this up.
Alexander Hamilton was reincarnated as Jean Valjean.
It's the French Revolution. Yeah. Les Mis spans from 1815 to 1832. So that Les Mis happens like almost immediately after Hamilton in like
Wow.
in world history.
I'm still sad about that one girl. I don't remember her name anymore, but I'm still sad about her.
Les Mis was great. I need to rewatch Les Mis. I will say
Was it?
of the
She
movie
had a whack name. What was Eponine? Eponine. That's it.
Eponine, Elponine.
Eponine.
I don't know. I
You
do
don't
need to
remember
go back to that
Eponine?
though.
Eponine, the best character in Les Mis, who got rat fucked,
Oh shit, I forgot. Where is it? Where's the wheel?
who died in The Man She Loved Arms, and then the immediate next scene is him singing about another girl who he loves. Like not even one scene between those two.
So someone I was talking to. Now I'm gonna leave this up to you. All right,
Okay.
we're down to 4 on our little wheel of musicals to do for the show. Someone
Okay.
suggested we add one to the wheel.
Oh, who and what?
Someone I was talking to who wanted to know what musicals we've done, and they were gonna listen to. They were gonna go like watch the episodes we've done on the musicals. Wicked,
Mm,
an original Broadway one, not the Ariana Grande skeleton one,
mm,
not the new one. Now, I said I would
I
bring
don't
it up.
know. Hamilton. Hamilton was really my limit for white girlness, and I think that by one might be even deeper in the white girl paint.
It is, which is why I'm not immediately adding it, and I wanted to get your opinion. If you don't want to watch it, I will not add it to the wheel. Also, I would like to say, well, I'll let you speak first. So, like, I'll add it to the wheel if you want to include it in our list of musicals, but we don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, if you want to talk about Wicked, I'll talk about Wicked. Like,
I'm not crazy about it.
I'm
Like
not immediately
Hamilton, I
jumping out
would
of
have
my
convinced you to
chair.
do Hamilton eventually. But like Wicked is like I'd rather do anything on the list other than Wicked.
Well, then I guess you have your answer, because, like, I'll do
Okay.
it, but it doesn't seem like you want to
Also,
do it
putting
either,
Wicked on the
so.
list just adds one more thing for the wheel to hit, except for Death Note the
Instead of
musical
Death Note the
only.
musical, yeah.
Did you have a favorite? Do you want to do wrap up questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've already kind of got over it. I have to make my call on favorite character, which I think I think I gotta give it to shit.
You can name like 3 if you can't narrow it down.
No, I had to narrow it because I know it is between three. It's between Thomas Jefferson, King George, and Philip.
Okay.
And out of those three, I think I think Jefferson's getting cucked here. Jefferson was good, really good, but like I think I'm gonna say my favorite character was Philip, and that my favorite song was "You'll Be Back."
That's fair. I tried to avoid King George at all costs and pick something else. So this could technically be a second favorite, but I feel like King George is in there to add a little bit of comic relief, and I don't want to go and pick the comic relief character as my favorite character.
Comic relief characters just always work super well in musicals. I found like I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
and I
Like
wanted to avoid picking like the comic relief songs and character just because I want to like make things a little bit
because
more
those are always
interesting.
the
But
the song from Les Mis. Like that was like I still think about that song. Fucking Master of the House.
yeah,
Like the goofy songs are always the best ones.
yeah, I wanted to like expand it a little bit, specifically with this one. Um, my the song that I would probably like my favorite one would have had to be the 10 Dual Commandments,
That's a pretty good one.
where they're where they're like saying the rules of the duel, and it was good. I thought that was like the best one. And then my favorite character is Thomas Jefferson.
That's fair. Jefferson was really good.
But a very close second, probably tied for first, would be "You'll Be Back," the King George song for
Is
sure.
Thomas Jefferson like the Gregory House or like the Rick Sanchez of Hamilton? Cause he just like shows up and he's like, sorry, I fucked off for a while. What did I miss? And then suddenly he's the most important and smartest character in the room.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add at all?
And also he's an asshole. The Thomas Jefferson is the Gregory House of Hamilton. This is what we've decided. This is the real lore. But yeah, and then rating it out of 10, I think I'm gonna give it a 9. Like it's just like it's literally like a flawless production, but it's just like I wasn't invested enough in the story to bring it to a 10. Like it's a perfect piece of media, but it's a piece of media that does not get like the extra resonation point. Because it's like there's media that I understand is like amazing, but it's just like some about it just like I'm not into it as much. So like it's like almost completely flawless, but just because it doesn't have a certain je ne sais quoi that I cannot define, I'm gonna give it a 9.
I think, now correct me if I'm wrong here. I think what the word you're looking for is rewatchability.
Maybe. Yeah. Like I
Or
don't want to go watch this again.
re-listenability or rewatchability. Something that gets you involved enough to where you're like, I could watch that again. Shrek did not have that at all. Shrek, it was a one and done situation. Maybe two and done if someone's never seen it and I kind of want to laugh at it a little bit. But like on my own, I would never go and rewatch Shrek the musical for fun. Hamilton on the other side, as you already know, in a 24-hour period, I've consumed this media 3 times. So I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10.
That's fair, and I was expecting that of you, and I don't fault you. It probably deserves it, but I just wasn't as into it.
It's not your cup of tea. You just kind of tossed your tea in the harbor this time. It's okay.
I had a genuinely great experience watching it this one time, but it did not invest me enough that I would really ever watch it again, unless somebody hadn't seen it and they wanted to watch it.
Yeah, that's
Like
the
you
same
said,
thing with Shrek
yeah.
though, you know? But like I need to go back and get like all of our ratings. By the way, I will do that. Like that's another
So
project.
we can get the official ranking
Well, when we're done
of
with this
musicals.
wheel, we only got 4 more to go. I really don't think we're going to add anything else unless
I
someone
think we could
adds
add.
like
I think there are some we talked about adding that we never did, but I can't remember what they were.
I have a few that I want to add onto the list where I bring guests on and we talk about like my sister and I like bringing my sister on to talk about Les Mis. We
You
have a
really need
few
to
of
go bother
those.
Val because I want to do Dear Evan Hansen bad. Like I
I do need to
really
go and
want to see
I
that.
do need to go take care of that. Um but you want me to pull up the silly little wheel?
Yeah, I guess it's time to find out what we're doing next time.
Alrighty, we're gonna do share screen, the wheel. You got the wheel. We apologize for any of the technical difficulties. Visuals are gonna be fucked for a minute because I have not had time to fix that. I could probably fix it now. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit?
All right, are you ready to spin the wheel?
Yes, there's literally only one way this could go where I'll groan. So let's see if we get the 1 in 4 chance that I'm not happy.
I thought it was a 3 and 4 chance that you're not happy.
No. There is another two here that I'm also really looking forward to, and then there's Grease 1978. So let's see where we land.
You don't want to watch Grease the movie? It's
I'm sure
great.
I'll be fine with Grease, but I really want to watch the other three, so I don't want to land on
You
Grease.
really want to watch Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yes, I can't believe I didn't think of that one immediately when we were
I'm
trying to
very
pick
surprised.
musicals.
Look, I learned about that Easter of like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah, I've always known about Jesus Christ Superstar. I've never. I feel like I was saving it for a special occasion, and the special occasion is Detour Ahead, as it turns out.
If it lands on Jesus Christ Superstar, he's working through this wheel because I think Easter's coming up soon.
Sure, yeah. Fuck. We'll put off Cash Floor another week. Just do Jesus Christ Superstar next week.
Actually, actually, if if it's Jesus Christ Superstar, that comes out like a few days after Easter. If it's the next one, because Cash Floor is next week.
Should we just forego the wheel and then just do?
Let's
Oh, wait,
spin. Let's spin the
is it
wheel.
the is it the week after or is it next week that's Easter?
It's the 20th or 21st or whatever.
Okay, okay.
So Jesus
Yeah,
Christ
so we
Superstar.
we still do Cash Floor and then we do it and then it comes out near Easter. Okay.
Yeah, so we do Cash Floor next week. If we do, it would be Cash Floor and then Jesus Christ Superstar. Jesus Christ Superstar would come out a couple days after Easter.
Okay, I almost feel like we should just do Jesus Christ Superstar then, but if you want to spin the wheel, we can
All
spin
right,
the
how
wheel.
about this? We're gonna set a parameter here because I like the wheel and the wheel's already up on the screen. If it lands on if it lands on, so you know what? I'm gonna make an amendment. No, if it lands on Death Note, we do Death Note. If it lands on anything else, we do Jesus Christ Superstar.
Then it just feels like why are we even doing the wheel?
Okay, then let's just do the wheel. It's fine. Let's spin the wheel.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
You're so attached to this wheel.
Oh,
You're fucking kidding me.
by a hair. Look, at least it's
You're
look.
fucking joking.
Look, it's only like an hour and a half, like less than 2 hour movie. It'll be fine.
I'm sure Grease is fine. I might have already seen it. I know I watched Hairspray, but I think I also watched Grease in that same class. I think we watched them both in a
Oh, I
row.
forgot about Hairspray.
Do you want to do Hairspray? I liked Hairspray. We
I
can
can
do the
add
Hairspray
Hairspray to
movie.
the list.
Yeah, we'll do the Hairspray movie.
Yeah,
That'd be
we'll add
fun.
an additional thing so we don't hit Death Note
So that
again.
we don't do Death Note. Yeah. Well, the Hairspray movie has like Amanda Bynes in it before she went crazy and stopped being an actor. So Amanda Bynes is good. So
All right, let's replace Grease with Hairspray. All right, so we still have 4 on the board.
whatever movie version has Amanda Bynes, I think there's a couple.
All right, so we're doing Grease in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Look, I really think it's better to get it out of the way. Just
I
get it
think
done.
we should have. I think you were so attached that we should have done the wheel. Like we're literally doing the episode fucking 2 days after Easter. Let's just do Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
But now we spin the wheel, so it feels like I'm reneging.
Now, fuck the wheel. We've already said fuck the wheel multiple times. Fuck the wheel.
But we already spun it. You said not fuck the wheel, and you spun the wheel, and now the wheel is spun.
Do you want me to just edit all this out and say, hey, everybody, we're going to do Jesus Christ Superstar because it's about Easter and Easter's coming up?
I think here's what I think we have to do, Alex. And this might be because I want to put a certain other thing off, but like also it works. uh I think we have to do Grease next week and then do Jesus Christ Superstar the week after.
And put Cash Floor off for a while?
Put Cash Floor off until after those two.
That works.
There's a lot of Cash Floor to watch, and Tubi has a lot of ads, and Maddox is very bad. So like those forces of nature combined that it might take me a minute to watch Cash Floor. If given 2 weeks of lead up, I can watch all of Cash Floor, but I'm gonna need a little bit of time.
Okay, so we're doing Grease next week and then Jesus Christ Superstar for Easter.
Yep.
And then Okay. This is the first. I would like to just point out real quick. This is the first time we've had 3 weeks of Detour Ahead planned out in advance. In the
Just like
150
ever.
in the 150 episodes, we've never had 2 weeks planned out, like where we know
Look at
exactly
us.
what we're gonna do. But it's on recording, so now we have to. All right, we're talking about Greece next week. Riely, you got. Do you want people to find you anywhere?
Yes. If you go to linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe, um, you can see so many podcasts and YouTube channels that you'll drown. You'll drown in them. That's how many contents there are. Particular shout outs to the 2 live shows that I do. Which Thursday is the day of Riely. If you're a man who's off on Thursday, you're in luck because you got all sorts of content. Because Thursdays at noon Eastern on the Demi Gloom YouTube channel, we do the Trans Fat Experience, which is a wonderful show where me and Demi Gloom we hang out, we have a good time. We're gonna try to have more guests on. You should come on the Trans Fat Experience.
Aren't we supposed to do middle school GSA at some point?
At some point, middle school GSA is like going through growing pains phase right now because Felonious Ferris is no longer involved. So Demi Gloom's kind of having an identity crisis about what middle school GSA is going to be right now. So I'm going to let her work that out. And then we're going to go for an idea that I did have. Actually, I think we probably should just do this because this has already been floated. I think we talked about it on Trans Fat Experience. But there's been an idea in the chamber for a while for me to go on middle school GSA myself with Demigloom and Felonious Ferris, and for us to talk about free speech. And now that Ferris isn't involved, we talked about doing that episode, and it was like, yeah, but like, I talk to you about free speech all the time, so like, it doesn't feel special anymore. And then I had the idea of what if I get one of my guys and you get one of your guys and we do like a 4-band show where we talk about free speech, and I get my biggest free speech warrior and you get your biggest not free speech warrior, and we clash. So I think you're my free speech warrior, Alex, and we need to do this.
I is that not Brad?
Yeah, Brad was the other option, but like
I feel like Brad's more
you're the
free
one who
speech than
just
I am.
you're the one who destroyed your mic with freedom of speech. You're the only one I've ever had a debate with about freedom of speech where I was on the side of not as much freedom of speech.
Could be interesting. You'd have to catch me on a day though.
Yeah, we'd have to figure it out, but I think that'd be a fun idea. But I think we're starting to just have some people on Trans Fat Experience just to hang out and talk to us. And it's been we had Belle on last week. It was like one of the best episodes we've ever done, and I think we're gonna try to get more people. And I think you should hop in. You're not usually busy on Saturdays when you're not babysitting your pupper,
Or hanging out with Twinks from Grinder.
hanging out with Grinder Twinks. Yeah. Oh, wait, we don't do it on Saturdays anymore. We do it on Thursdays, so we'd have to move it. But like, we could do it.
Yeah, I work on Thursdays, so
Unfortunate.
all right, we'll figure it out. If you haven't already been watching on the watching the show on the Colachu YouTube channel, you can go check that out. There's a lot of fun videos. If you want to make fun of Riely, go look up. I think there's a whole playlist of Scriblio videos where you can watch Riely draw Pokemon really, really badly.
That's
Uh,
true. I did do that.
that's CO. Well, you can find it on the link tree, my link tree, linktr.ee/COLOCHU. If you want to give us
Oh, by the
money,
way,
check us out on
uh,
Patreon, patreon.com/detourahead, DETOURAHEAD.
yes, give us money. Also, you cut me off in the middle of my plugs, I realized, because I said I was plugging 2 live shows, and then you cut me off after the first one.
You have too
So
many
third,
plugs. Stop.
yeah,
Stop
and I do two,
content
I do
creating.
2 or 3 of them per show. I do 2 or 3 highlights. And lately it's been the 3 same things, which is my 2 live shows, Trans Fat Experience, and also Death Stream, which goes live on my YouTube channel, Riely and Friends, 7 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. We talk about news and politics, and we have a good time. And those are the live shows, and a podcast also that has recently returned to the airwaves, that I want you all to listen to if you like Power Rangers, is Megazord Radio. We're doing a Power Rangers watch along podcast, going pretty well. I'm like a Nightster, good new co-host. We got a groove going. We're more than halfway through Mighty Morphin season 1 now. We've crossed the halfway threshold. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is like the longest show in the history of time because they weren't splitting it up back then, and the seasons aired like Monday through Friday instead of like once per week on the weekends. That was the weird thing about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So every season is fucking stupid long. Like season 1 is 60 episodes, season 2 is 52, and season 3 is 54. So we're more than halfway through season 1 now. So we're starting to truck. We're starting to truck through this immense journey that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But yeah, that's the stuff. Listen to it on podcast platforms and YouTube. I guess I didn't actually say where you could find it, but it's pretty easy to find. Just look up Megazord Radio or click on it on the link tree because it's in there.
All right, everybody. I was gonna say we'll see you next week, but unfortunately, we did not see you last week. Um,
I mean, what do you mean we didn't see you last week? It still came out, just late. At least I hope. it
I mean, we
hasn't
still
it
have to.
hasn't come out yet, but I assume it will come out.
It will.
It
Last week was a good episode, so if you haven't already
was.
checked it out, go check it out. Riely made me watch Power Rangers, and I fucked Riley's whole perception of
You
anime
did
up.
you did destroy my emotions for all of time.
So if you want to go hear why Riley's emotions are all fucked up, go watch last week's episode.
But yeah, thank you guys. Goodbye. Get
Goodbye.
out of here. Go home.